This course introduces you to learning, knowledge and human development. Bill Cope and I, in one section, deal with the various histories and the paradigms associated with learning and knowledge in education over time. Dorothy Espelage will introduce issues related to social and emotional conditions for learning, and Denise Hood will discuss student development in the college context. George Rees will talk about learning to think in mathematics, science and technology education in schools in complex contexts. And Joe Robinson will be putting quantitative psychology research to work in educational contexts.
In this course, just to elaborate a little bit on what Mary just said, we have a very diverse series of voices, and what we want to do is give you a kind of a sense of some of the things that happen in the domain that's called educational psychology. So Mary and I are going to start off in the first section giving the most schematic of overviews of the history of educational psychology, and in which we kind of divided into three major paradigms. It's sort of an oversimplification in a way, but it's a way of building a kind of a map of what the field is in a very general way. Then we move on and we hear from Dorothy Espelage. Dorothy Espelage is a leading researcher in the whole area of bullying, which is a kind of a subset of the larger domain, which is often called the social and emotional conditions of learning. So in other words, bullying is one issue which is quite specific, incredibly important in this particular context for all sorts of reasons. But the general issue is what kind of social and emotional conditions are optimum for students as they learn. Becoming more specific now, if you like, about, well, what do we do with this knowledge? Denise Hood talks about student development. Her case study, or the area that she's talking about, is college, but this is a whole area of applied educational psychology, which is often called student counselling, for example. So it's a very important area, and it's one of the ways in which the insights of educational psychology are directly applied in a school context. Now, another form of application of the insights of educational psychology is in the development and design of pedagogical sequences. And we have here a very nice example of this from George Rees, who works here in the College of Education, an expert on teaching in STEM, science, technology, education, mathematics. And what he talks about is the dynamics of learning to think. So another aspect of educational psychology is analysing the dynamics of cognition. Right? So we have here a nice example of this in the work that George Rees does here, the very innovative and interesting work he does here in the college. And now another very notable person in the whole realm of educational psychology, Joe Simpion-Robinson. And we've included him here because we want you to understand some of the technical methods which psychologists as researchers use to understand learning across institutions. So what Joe's working with here is a whole lot of educational data, and he's using kind of advanced statistical techniques to try to understand what's happening in educational institutions. Now, this statistical or quantitative approach to psychology is one of the many strands in psychology as a discipline, and we wanted to give you a flavour of the kind of work researchers do when they use these methods.